How does cold exposure reduce stress? Cold plunges and cold showers are a trending topic for health, and while some people are outright crazy for the extremes that they go to expose themselves to the cold, there is a benefit to cold temperatures. For the sake of simplicity, planned cold exposure can be a planned stressor to the body. It can get our bodies used to and comfortable with stressful conditions and situations. And in this video, we're going to go over 3 ways in which the cold can help reduce stress. The first way is improve mood. So in the past, it was actually recommended that people with depression get exposure to cold water. And while this doesn't work for everybody, there is a certain truth to this. In 2021, researchers recruited undergraduate students to take a 20-minute dip in chilly seawater. Specifically, the water was 13.6 degrees Celsius or 56.5 degrees Fahrenheit. The students were to report their emotions before and after using a questionnaire, but here's the cool part. So compared to control groups, the students who engaged in cold water immersion noting a significant decrease in negative emotions like tension, anger, depression, fatigue, and confusion. Moreover, they experienced boosts in positive emotions such as vigor and self-esteem. Instead of a calm before the storm, it's the reverse. It's a storm, then a feeling of calmness, albeit it's a shivering storm. But some of the effects of that feel-good feeling after a cold shower or cold bath is due to endorphins. Specifically, for the research that I did for this video, the primary endorphin release is beta endorphin, alongside other neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. These contribute to the feeling of alertness and can potentially improve our mood by activating the body's stress response system. For all intents and purposes, you get a chill feeling after exposure to the cold. That wasn't a pun. I'm gonna keep it moving and cringy anyway. So the second part, lower cortisol. This is my favorite part. It's pretty cool. So typically when we get stressed out, our body releases adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Prolonged cortisol has negative effects on our bodies, and to be fair, so does prolonged adrenaline and norepinephrine. But here's where water immersion and cold water helps out. A study conducted that 1 hour CWI or cold water immersion session, whether in thermal neutral, 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, cooler, 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or just straight cold, 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit water, did not lead to an increase in blood cortisol concentration. So cortisol didn't go up. Instead, cortisol levels tended to decrease across all temperatures tested and remain below initial levels an hour after immersion. Cold water immersion might actually have potent stress modulating effects. Further research indicates that cortisol levels remain considerably lower for up to 3 hours after just 15 minutes of cold water immersion. The temperature was 10 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The main takeaway from this study is that by reducing cortisol production in response to repeated cold exposure, participants might also release less cortisol in response to other stressors in everyday life, thus fostering a more resilient physiological state over time. And speaking of resilience, that takes us to the third point, increased resilience. So huge shout out to Huberman for this. I'm just gonna read what he says because bro's like light years ahead of me. By forcing yourself to embrace the stress of a cold exposure as a meaningful self-directed challenge, or by viewing cold exposure as a challenge, you exert what is called top-down control over deeper brain centers that regulate reflective states. This top-down control process involves your prefrontal cortex, an area of your brain involved in planning and suppressing impulsivity. The top-down control is the basis of what people refer to when they talk about resilience and grit. So for my NFL brain, I like to think about it this way. I like to think that the top-down control is basically the thinking part of your brain taking over the instinctive part of your brain. So it's like you enter a cold shower, you get in a cold bath, and you feel the cold and immediately you want to get out, but instead of instinctively doing that, your logical part or the logical part of your brain is reassuring you that it's only a bath, it's only a shower, you're not going to die, and basically make you tougher mentally when it comes to challenges in life. So that's pretty much it. That was a lot. I like this. I like talking about it, just the geek in me. But a couple things just to keep in mind. So for any cold exposure, please do not go from a regular hot shower into freezing cold water for various reasons. It's encouraged to start out with a semi-uncomfortable temperature. Even if it's a little bit warm at first, that's fine, and then gradually lower the temperature over time. It can be done a couple times a week. Even 2 to 3 minutes of cold exposure can have wonderful benefits. I'll put all my resources and links down below for the research that I did in the description. Albeit a cold bath is better than a cold shower just because your body's fully submerged in a cold bath, but I get it, not everybody wants to do that. I don't even want to do that. So a cold shower just might be more practical for some people. And as I do for all these videos, this is just general advice that I researched online, studies, surveys, information that's conducted by humans. Humans aren't perfect and we do make mistakes. So feel free to do your own research as well. And if you see something that is contradicting, or if you see something that's a bit skeptical, just reach out and let me know in the comment section, because I do want to focus on providing the most accurate information as best as imperfectly possible. So yeah, and as always, for all these videos, consult with your doctor and physician. Please do not sue me, because I can go on about stress for days. But we'll save that for, we'll save another stress video for another stress related day.